Now I'm sure somebody's like, wait a minute, I thought the guy was supposed to be the example. I thought the man was supposed to set the example. Yes, he's supposed to set the example. But what if he doesn't? So you're just going to throw in the towel? Well, there is something that you can do to influence him to change. And that is to be an example of what God wants you both to be. Number 2, she fed him. She ate the food first. Second thing, she fed him. Notice nothing was said to Adam. Nothing was said. She didn't say nothing. She didn't have to say anything. She fed him. And I mentioned that point number 2, feeding a guy has 3 categories because there are basically 3 sides of a man that need to be fed. Number 1 is stomach. Number 2, his ego. And number 3 is libido. Libido is sexual drive. You can read, the book of Esther. I think in chapters 3 all the way to 5. Her people are about to be slaughtered, okay? The king, her husband, signed a decree for this to happen. So we can conclude that this guy is not so smart, okay? I mean, hello, this guy's not so smart. He just signed a decree. He was deceived by Haman, who was trying to annihilate the Jews, to write a decree so that he could kill all of Esther's people. So Esther is desperate, okay? She's desperate. So she does the spiritual thing. She went on a fast. She went to seek God on the fast. Usually, for those of you who may not be aware what a fast is, it's basically when you abstain from food or drinks or certain kinds of foods or drinks for a period of time to hear from God, to let God speak to you, to help God, to let God deliver you from a situation. Some people fast to mourn. Some people fast as a form of worship. But I think a lot of people fast because they're like, God, I really need you to show up in my life. I need you to do something for me, okay? So she does the spiritual thing. She goes for a fast. Now, usually the action the person takes after a fast is a reflection of what they heard from God. Okay, someone goes on a fast, and after the fast, they take an action, which suggests that God spoke to them during the fast and said, okay, this is what you need to do. So after goes on the fast, after she fasted, she went to see the king because she wanted favor, because she could not just show up in front of the king. She needed to be invited. And when you're not invited, usually you get killed. So she goes on the fast to find favor. And she got the favor. She showed up before him. He was cool with it. Notice how people are about to be slaughtered here. That's very important. It's the most important thing. She needs this guy to show up for her like right now. And the king says, okay, what can I do for you? She says, come to a banquet. First thing, she was going to feed him with food and drink. First thing, she was going to feed him. Like, your people are about to die. You don't have time for that right now. You need her. You need him to do something. How many of you ladies have been in situations where you need a guy to show up to do something for you, and God is saying, have you fed him? She fed him. Did a banquet. Then you would think, okay, she can now ask for what she wants. No. The king now said, what do you want? Up to half the kingdom. I'll give it to you. She said, I'm going to host another banquet. So she fed him twice. Then after the second banquet, how many of you know that by that time, Haman was toast? He was done. Because now, she tells him what happened. The king was ticked off like, what? He walked out. Oh, Haman was begging Esther. He was shaking to his boots. What did she do? She fed the man. Now, this is the same guy that made the poor decision. Which lets me know sometimes you might be with a guy who makes just a dumb decision. But you can turn it around. All you got to do is feed the guy.